All right. It is 7:30, so I say good evening and welcome to the Town Board of the Town of Ossining Legislative Session for Tuesday, April 13th, 2021. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence in memory of two people we likely never met, but their passing has profoundly impacted so many of us. Earl Simmons, also known as DMX, and Daunte Wright. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So just before we get into our roll call, this past week, we lost a music legend with a special connection to Westchester County, and I didn't actually do the moment of silence, so maybe let's just do the moment of silence right now, and then I will continue on. Thank you. So as I was saying, this past week, we lost a music legend with a special connection to Westchester County. Earl Simmons was born in Mount Vernon, grew up in Yonkers, and unfortunately passed away last week in White Plains. His death is a huge loss to anyone who loves music, and even more painful for anyone who has experienced or loves someone who has struggled with addiction. On Sunday, Daunte Wright was fatally shot by a police officer in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. This is yet one more tragic death of a Black man at the hands of police. Our nation is grieving these two lives, which ended far too early, and we share in that grief tonight with this moment of silence. Thank you. And we can go to our roll call.
Okay, Councilmember Feldman,
Present.
Councilmember Meyer,
Present.
Councilmember Shaw,
Present.
Councilmember Wiltshire,
Present.
Supervisor Levenberg.
I'm here.
Okay. And we're going on to our first public hearing, 2021 cabaret license renewal for the Briarcliff Manor Restaurant and Catering Corporation.
So we have two public hearings tonight, starting with this one for the 2021 cabaret license renewal for the Briarcliff Manor. Councilor O'Donnell, anything you would like to add about this application before we open it for public comment?
This is an annual permit that under the code, any establishment that is going to be serving food and drink and also playing amplified music comes and gets from the town board. This application was reviewed by the building department and the police department as is required by the code, and both have recommended approval of this application. The one thing I will note to the board is that the code permits amplified music to be played between on Sunday through Thursday from the hours of 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. The applicant is proposing on Thursdays to have amplified music until 12 a.m. The code does allow the board to modify these hours under appropriate circumstances, but it is something that the board should keep in mind, and we will have to make specific findings in a resolution if the board is inclined to grant the applicant that additional hour.
Okay. Thank you very much. So with that, unless there are any comments from the board, we'd like to open it up for the public, and you will have, I believe it is 4 minutes for public hearing, 4 minutes. And if we could just recognize, I think I see one attendee with a hand up. That's Cindy Lamar.
Yes, you were expecting me, I'm sure. Hello, everybody. Before I make my comments, Attorney O'Donnell, you said Sunday through Thursday, but what about Friday through Monday?
Well, Sunday through Thursday includes Monday.
Sunday,
Friday and Saturday, you're
Friday,
allowed.
Saturday. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Friday and Saturday, you're allowed to have the hours later until 12 a.m., which is what the applicant is proposing.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I'm Mindy Lamar, 12 Haymont Terrace. My property is behind the Briarcliff Manor, and Briarcliff Manor as everybody knows, is a non-conforming property within a R15 residential zone. We've had a noise issue now for 20 years about this. It started out as Maison Lafitte, which was a fully enclosed eating and dining establishment. It has become now, hey guys, do whatever you want and we'll pass laws to legalize it. For example, without a public hearing, you've permitted them to expand their capacity from 220 to 266. That's a 46-person increase. It's a noise increase. You've permitted them to violate their stipulation and order of settlement from 2005, particularly Article 2, Section A, which says that the outdoor patio may be used for dining and events, but not the grassy lawn. So what they've done is they put flagstone down on the grass, and now they have events on the grass closer to our property, bringing the noise closer to us. Last year, you passed a law permitting fully enclosed eating and dining establishments to serve everybody outside. Again, this is a non-conforming property. It should have gone before the Zoning Board of Appeals. But included in that law, you're permitting the use of tents, which again, the zoning board has unanimously denied the use of tents for this property, both permanent and temporary. They said, no, you can't have tents up, but the board overruled them. And we're not looking to put the Briarcliff Manor out of business. We're looking for them and for the town board to respect our right to the quiet enjoyment of our backyards. We don't want them to interfere with us any more than we want to interfere with them. We expect that you will grant the license, the cabaret license, but we respectfully request that you remind the owners and managers of the Briarcliff Manor, remind them of the stipulation and order of settlement, Article 2, Section B, that the back doors must remain closed whenever music or noise is happening. I will also call your attention to Town General Code, Section 6820, subsection B, which says there should be no amplified music outdoors at any time. And I would also appreciate it if you can indicate no amplification outside, meaning no microphones for speeches either, because noise carries right into our backyards. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Is there anybody else here to comment on the cabaret license renewal for the Briarcliff Manor Restaurant and Catering Corporation? If so, can you raise your virtual hand? And not seeing anybody with their virtual hand raised. Can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, so council? Is there anything else besides that?
Well, the board will have to consider a resolution after the public hearing at your next legislative session on the 27th. If the board is inclined to consider any of the conditions that Ms. Lamar spoke about, I can incorporate them into a draft resolution for that the board can have an opportunity to review. And then you can certainly make any changes as you deem fit.
Sounds good. Thank you. Okay, so we will do that. All right, so we're moving on to our next public hearing. Martha, do you want to?
Yes, amend is, it's local law 3 of 2021, amend zoning map to apply tier 2 battery storage energy floating zone to St. Augustine's Church at 381 North Highland Avenue.
Thank you. So this is our second public hearing regarding the proposed battery energy storage project at St. Augustine's Church. The project has already completed SECRA review with the planning board, so the next step is for the town board to consider approving the floating zone before final site approval with the planning board. Councilor Donna, is there anything that you would like to add?
We do have representatives of the applicant here tonight, Greg Gibbons and Mike Conway, I believe. If there's anyone else, I apologize. So they offered to attend this evening and give the board a brief overview of the project. You did hear from them a while back, probably in February. But if the board is so inclined, they can just briefly go over everything. But as the supervisor said, and we have the town planner Valerie Manastra on as well, the planning board did complete SECRA. So this is the next step in the process for the board to consider adoption of the floating zone, the tier 2 battery energy storage system floating zone, to have it applied to the property, in which case it will then go back to the planning board for review of site plan approval and a compatible use permit.
Okay, so can we then make known Greg and Mike? We allow them to come
Yes.
on camera? Okay.
I'm going to, okay. I'm going to allow you to talk, Greg and Mike. So
Okay.
you should be able to
This is
speak. We
Greg.
can't see you. Would you prefer that I promoted you to a panelist so we can see you? I'm not sure if you had anything you wanted to share with the board.
Can you hear me? This is Greg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I didn't think I was going to be able to share anything with this format, so I don't have anything pulled up right this second. I do have a plan here that I could show if you would like.
Sure, I will promote you to panelist and then you can. Okay, Greg, are you still there?
Greg, are you back?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I am
Great,
back.
so now you should be able to show your camera and also share
Great.
anything you want to. There you go.
All right, great. Let me just had it open and I closed. All right. I'm sharing. Okay. So yeah, we have a battery storage project at St. Augustine's Church property. That's off of Mystic Drive, if you were going to drive there, which is right off of Route 9A, which you can see borders the property on the east. To the west is Croton Bay. I think it's more known as the Hudson River in that area. There is significant topography change from the Hudson River up to where the battery storage project is. We are avoiding the 100-foot buffer as required by the town. I think it's like 65 feet of elevation change from the Hudson to the project. We have confirmed with the planning board that there won't be a view of the project from the Hudson for any boaters or anything. It'll continue with a very natural look from the Hudson. The project is very well hidden from any public view because it is in the northwest corner of the site. St. Augustine's property is very large and private as well. However, we did agree to install substantial vegetation on the site to, keep with the current visual situation, which is, it's a very nice, serene church area, and we did offer to screen our project. The project is within a 7-foot chain link fence, which totals approximately 0.15 acres. It is accessed via a 20-foot wide gravel access road, which does meet all fire code. We did have the fire chief review it and give his blessing. As I mentioned, the vehicle access is from Mystic Drive, which is off 9A. The utility interconnection is directly to 9A. We are using the same location where the St. Augustine's Church gets their power currently. The project is a 4 megawatt, 16 megawatt hour battery storage project. It will be used to feed the grid when the grid needs additional power. And I believe that's about it from a high level overview.
Thank you very much. And I think I asked last time, and I think you did say that there was some way that it was going to be similar to community solar. Is that right? Where you could buy, people could buy sort of credits towards it and then get a discount on their Con Ed bills. Is that true? Or was that not exactly right?
It is true. Hey everybody, this is
Yeah.
Mike. The way the system is monetized is a lot like a community solar project in that it creates bill credits, and then those bill credits get transferred to a energy purchaser's bill. We don't have agreements in place yet for this project. We've got a bit of time left before we have to do that and before we go out there and actually build the project. So that'll be something that we're engaging in over the next probably 6 months or so. So if the town were interested in either enrolling residents or using some of the town electric accounts to participate in that program, that's certainly something that we would be open to if it makes sense for the town financially.
Absolutely. I think whatever way we can help our residents, if we can do that at the same time and raise all ships, I think that's certainly something that we would be interested in doing. I know that many of the community solar projects have partnered with Sustainable Westchester as well. And so, we can certainly look at that model to see whatever is in our best interest and your best interest to make it easier for people to enroll and benefit from this local installation. Okay, so I think do you have anything else that you wanted to add, Greg or Mike? And if not, I'm going to open it up to public comment. Are you good? Or Valerie, is there anything you wanted to add before we go to public, or you're good?
Nope, nothing to add. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic.
Actually,
Okay.
the only thing I will say, Valerie, can you just confirm, I believe this is the case, I think I checked with you. When the planning board adopted the neg deck, they did also make a recommendation to the town board on the zoning, and that was favorable.
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay. So shall we stop sharing screen so we can see who our other people are who might want to make a public comment? And we will now ask any of our attendees who might be here to comment during this public hearing on the battery energy storage floating zone that will be at St. Augustine's Church. And if you can raise your virtual hand. Is there another way to do that if you're on a phone? Can anybody remind me? It's star 6 or something like that?
Yeah, I don't think we have anybody joining by phone though, so.
Okay.
She's just.
So, anybody here to comment? Going once. Going twice. I feel like in the Zoom world, we have to wait a little tiny bit longer, right? Just to make sure that everybody has a chance. Okay. Hearing nothing. Councilor O'Donnell, what is your advice on this?
I think unless the board has any additional information that you would like from the applicant, you've held the public hearing as required by law to consider adoption of a local law, because this does require a zone change in that the floating zone will be applied to this property. Now that the public hearing has been held, you can close the public hearing if you're so inclined and direct me to prepare a resolution for the board's consideration at your April 27th meeting.
Any comments from the board before we decide to close this public hearing? Council, okay. Councilwoman Feldman, you look like you were reaching for for your unmute. No, you're good?
I am unmute. I'm in favor of this project. I think it's a good tucked away place to add support to our grid. And also benefit the St. Augustine's people as well. So win-win.
Absolutely. Anybody else? Any other comments from the board? Good. All right. With that, I would like a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Why, thank you. And I would now like to get into some announcements, I believe. I'm trying to juggle all my papers here. I think that's what's up next. Yes. Next up, announcements. So today has been a bit of a mixed bag for vaccine news. Early this morning, the CDC and FDA announced that they were recommending that administration of Johnson & Johnson vaccines pause while they evaluate 6 cases of a rare blood clotting disorder that may be a side effect. Nearly 7 million people in the United States have received Johnson & Johnson so far, so this disorder is extremely rare. Of other everyday factors like smoking and COVID-19 infection have much higher rates of blood clots than these cases. Nevertheless, scientists at the CDC and FDA will be closely evaluating links between this vaccine and the disorder, so necessary safety precautions can be made going forward. The acting commissioner of the FDA has stated that the expected pause will be a few days while these risks are evaluated. New York State Health Commissioner Dr. Howard Zucker announced that New York State will be following the federal recommendation and pausing Johnson & Johnson vaccine distribution for the time being. Dr. Ann Schuchat, Principal Deputy Director of the CDC, advises that if you received the vaccine several weeks ago, the risk is highly unlikely as the 6 cases experienced the disorder within 2 weeks of vaccination. But for those who recently got the vaccine, they should monitor for unusual symptoms like severe headaches, abdominal pain, leg pain, or shortness of breath, and contact a healthcare provider immediately in order to receive proper treatment. Thankfully, the Biden administration remains confident that we will still be able to reach the goal of vaccinating every adult who wants to be vaccinated by May 31st. Locally here in Ossining, Open Door announced yesterday, and I'm sure you all saw it on Facebook, that they have administered 20,000 vaccines. We are so grateful to the folks at Open Door for their continued response on the front lines of this pandemic. Westchester County also announced more appointments opening up their vaccination clinic at Westchester Community College in Valhalla for any New York residents 18 years of age or older. This clinic administers the Moderna vaccine. Visit health.westchestergov.com/2019-novel-coronavirus and navigate to vaccine information for links for specific dates for appointments. There are also many local pharmacies now offering vaccines, and you can make appointments directly with these businesses. Of course, the New York State portal remains open for state-run vaccination sites like Westchester County Center. The Ossining Briarcliff Vaccine Angels is a group of volunteers who can help get appointments for those struggling to get the vaccine. They are also still taking names of homebound, even though now we are more challenged to get those homebound vaccines out since they were relying on Johnson & Johnson for that, and the county still did not have a rich supply of those on hand right now, so we were still waiting to be able to get back to homebound vaccinations. Nevertheless, if you do have anybody who does need to be on the list, I'm sure that they're going to be working on alternatives. You can contact the group at otownvaccineangels@gmail.com or call 914-236-4567. Thank you so much to our O-Town Angels. We are getting Ossining vaccinated because of you. Sadly, we continue to lose lives to this virus every day, and we are not out of the woods. As tragic as any death is to family and loved ones, the economic burden of funerals and burials is often too much to bear. FEMA began processing applications this week for funeral assistance. FEMA is providing financial assistance, and I believe it's up to $9,000 for COVID-19 related funeral expenses incurred after January 20th, 2020. Applicants may apply by calling 844-684-6333 from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Right now, there is a high call volume on the phone line, but please remember, no need to be anxious as there's no deadline to apply. So just try again later. We're grateful to our federal leaders, especially Senator Chuck Schumer, for working to provide this unprecedented but much needed respite for so many families. The 2021 town and county tax bills should have arrived in mailboxes by now. If you have not received your tax bill, and you usually pay your taxes directly as opposed to via a mortgage company, contact the tax receiver's office at 914-762-8790 or hperlowitz@townofaustining.com for more information. The due date for payment is April 30th. The easiest and most secure way to pay is online via Express Pay, available through the town's website. You can also pay via mail or by placing your stamped envelope in the dedicated drop box at the Ossining Post Office lobby, which gets delivered straight to our offices and doesn't get processed through White Plains before delivery. Or you can still stop by in person at Town Hall, 16 Croton Avenue, where the tax office is set up to take payments in the lobby between 9 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. We strongly encourage taxpayers to consider paying online, as it is an easy and economical and healthfully safe way to be sure your payment reaches the tax office on time. Please do not wait till the last minute. If you need help navigating the online payment feature or help with just about anything else with your town and county taxes, just give the tax office a call at 914-762-8790. Receiver Holly Perlowitz and her team, Patty and Angela, are always ready to help. Earth Week is next week. This year, Green Ostining's Earth Day Festival has been upgraded to Earth Week with a week-long celebration of activities, partnerships, and offers from local businesses from Saturday, April 17th through Sunday, April 25th. Visit www.greenaustining.org/earth-day-festival to plan your Earth Week agenda. Be sure to mark your calendars for a couple of lunch and learns. On Monday, April 19th at 12 noon via Zoom, the town and village of Ossining are hosting one lunch and learn that focuses on the results of Ostining's hosting of Cornell University's Climate Adaptive Design Studio. In the fall of 2019, third-year landscape architecture graduate students focused their studies on Ossining and developed visionary designs for a more climate change and sea level rise resilient Ossining waterfront. In the Lunch and Learn, Cornell professor Josh Serra will lead participants through an overview of the Ossining studio and how the Ossining community can take this visioning exercise from here. Zoom access details are available on the Green Ossining website and the Town and Village Facebook pages. We will also be displaying poster boards summarizing the Ossining studio during Earth Week at the Ossining train station, and we thank MTA for their partnership on this. And that's during the open hours from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. next Monday through Friday. You get to have a nice cup of coffee or chai from Ashok and Preeti while you're there. If you prefer to view some of the design boards in person, that's a great way to do it. We will also participate in a second Lunch and Learn on Tuesday, April 20th, and hopefully we will have an exciting challenge to kick off our Grid Rewards program in the Ostinings and Briarcliff. This is a program done in partnership with Sustainable Westchester and Con Ed, which includes an app that you download on your phone that helps you monitor and adjust your energy use throughout the day, throughout the week, so you can help reduce the load on the grid and also overall save yourself some energy. Finally, Wednesday, April 21st, we will have another opportunity to learn about energy smart homes and how you can save money and energy with more efficient heating and cooling systems. So you can see we're really stepping up for Earth Week. The town's also asking residents to participate in our Sustainable Ossining Comprehensive Plan Survey during Earth Week. Hard copies of the survey can be found at the Ossining Public Library, the little free libraries at Lewis Engel, Ryder, and soon Gerlach Parks, as well as the lobby at 16 Croton. Additionally, you can download the survey and reply via email. Please visit our project webpage at sustainableossining.com to learn more. There are also so many other great programs that are part of Earth Week. I'm particularly looking forward to Alicia Simpson hosting a Mind, Body, Spirit Ossining yoga class at the waterfront, weather permitting, on Saturday, April 17th at 9 a.m. Following that, our Habitat stewards continue their work to clear invasives and planting natives in their place at Ryder Park. I was just out there today and they're ready for the planting at 10 a.m. Also Saturday, April 17th. And on Saturday and Sunday, there are multiple opportunities to join in and around our community for Stash the Trash efforts. So please check out Green Ostining's website to find out about all the Earth Week programming. For Stash the Trash, you do have to register in advance, and pick a site. Green Austining Chair Susie Ross will be joining us for our town hall meeting next week to highlight some of their programming. There's so much more to learn and participate in. Maybe with what you learn, you'll be inspired to turn Earth Week into Earth Month or Earth Year or Earth Life. Okay, now I have one more important announcement to make, which I hope I can find, and I can't find it, but I will. Okay, so before I close my announcements, I wanted to take a moment to address ongoing discussions between the Village of Ossining, Town, School District, and Library regarding taxation of water properties. For those of you who are not aware, the Village of Ossining's water treatment plant and the Indian Brook Reservoir are located in the unincorporated town of Ossining and are subject to real property taxation, of which the current taxing jurisdictions include the town of Ossining, the Ossining School District, and the Ossining Library District, with the majority of the property taxes being paid to the school district. Westchester County exempted these properties some years ago. In January, this board heard from Village Manager Karen Dottori and Assistant Village Manager Maddie Zahach with a request that the town board consider exempting these properties as well. The burden on water ratepayers, which includes almost all residents in the unincorporated town, as well as the town, school district, and library as water customers, as a result of paying these taxes, is becoming increasingly more significant, while the village plans a much needed new water treatment plant in the coming years. A new water treatment plant will temporarily inflate the value of those properties significantly, and in turn, increase the tax bill passed on to water ratepayers. According to the village's analysis, which the town has reviewed and agrees with, water bills stand to increase approximately $370 per year per ratepayer based on just the increased assessment, which would be very difficult for so many of our residents to absorb, with a compounding impact on unincorporated town of Ossining, not to mention the impact on the budgets of the town, school district, and library, because we pay to use water at our parks, in our school buildings, etc. Exempting these properties will have a nominal corresponding increase to taxpayers with the value coming off the roll, but that increase is in the range of $10 to $30 per year, much less than the increase in annual water rates from not exempting these properties. We acknowledge that the Ossining School Board exempting these properties offers a clear benefit to the whole community, and I believe I speak on behalf of my board colleagues when I say that after our meeting in January, those benefits were quite clear to the town board, and we would therefore be interested in considering exempting these properties in the town in the near future. Nevertheless, the impact of the school district exempting these properties is much greater in magnitude than the town or the library doing so, and the town doing this alone would have little impact on keeping the water rates steady. I hope between the remaining taxing jurisdictions, we can come together to make the right decision on this complex topic in order to provide much needed relief to our community. Do my board colleagues have anything else to add? Okay. With nothing else to add, I think, I'm sorry, I'm juggling all my different papers here, and I might have missed my intro to the next topic, which is a very important one. And okay, I'm sorry, we are up to liaison reports. Are there any liaison reports? Okay, hearing none. Next up is a departmental report by our town clerk, Honorable Sue Donnelly. Before I turn it over to our town clerk for her departmental report, I would like to take a moment to recognize our deputy town clerk, Martha Kudisaka, for her recent recognition as an honoree as part of Diligent's inaugural Modern Governance 100 for Community Board program. I have a proclamation here for Martha, which I am going to read, because you guys haven't heard me.
Thank you.
So, whereas Martha Kudisaka is an exemplary employee of the town and village of Ossining, currently serving in the role of deputy town clerk, a position which has become increasingly demanding during the COVID-19 pandemic, earning her recognition as an honoree of Diligent's inaugural Modern Governance 100 for Community Boards program, and whereas Martha started working for the town in 2018 following her graduation from Binghamton University and was a great asset added to the office of tax receiver as a part-time employee. And whereas when some personnel changes left the position of deputy town clerk open, Martha quickly stepped up to the challenge and began working full-time, serving the members of her community in this new role. And whereas, as a bilingual English-Spanish speaker, Martha is a cheery and welcoming face of the town and village of Ossining and always seeks to be as helpful as she can for both her colleagues and members of the public, which has been particularly challenging during the COVID-19 pandemic. And whereas during the past year, Martha has played a major role in spearheading online accessibility to the many permits and licenses handled by the clerk's office and has become a quick expert in Zoom town and village board meetings. And whereas outside of her work for the town, Martha earned her master's in public administration from John Jay College during the early months of the pandemic, is a dedicated volunteer at St. Anne's Church, and enjoys spending time with her tight-knit family. And whereas the town is lucky to have Martha as an employee, serving her neighbors with hard work, patience, and kindness, and she has much promise ahead in her career of public service. Now, therefore be it resolved that I, Dana A. Levenberg, Supervisor of the Town of Ossining, with the enthusiastic support of the Ossining Town Board, and I can tell you it is very enthusiastic because they were all so excited to see that you had won this award, we congratulate Martha C. Kudisaka on becoming an honoree of Diligent's inaugural Modern Governance 100 for Community Boards program, a deserving honor recognizing her as a driver of meaningful change and for her hard work on behalf of community boards during this challenging year. So Martha, I wish I could give this to you in person and give you a big hug, but then I'd have to wear a mask. So I am so excited to be giving you this, and you can hear everybody's applause, even though you can't really hear it, but you know that we are all so excited for you to have won this, and we're so excited to recognize you. And I'm guessing that there's a couple of other people who would also like to say one or two words. So I'm going to ask.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome, Martha, and you are so deserving. We're so excited for you. I'm gonna ask Honorable Sue Donnelly and Honorable Holly Prowitz if you wanted to add anything.
I think that I'll go first. I think that Martha understands how invaluable she is to the clerk's office and to the entire administrations of both the town and the village of Ossining. We have worked very diligently this year with Martha spearheading the putting permitting, licensing, and all forms online, and being able to totally access anything that was needed. Our totally bilingual office, except for me, is a great asset to this community too, since we are the one office that's opened to the public at this time. But Martha shows strength in management. She shows her total dedication to the work, and we're part of our team.
Thank you so much, Sue. And you're learning Spanish. You're learning little by little. You're learning. There's key words now that you know.
And she's a teacher too, clearly.
And clearly a teacher.
And our tax receiver, Ms. Holly Prowitz. Was there anything that you wanted to add? Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? I'm not sure. It's kind of
She
She's
was
there.
attending.
I think she might be
Oh, there
having
she is.
technology.
Here.
technology.
Yeah, I think she might be having some technological issues.
Okay. Well, if she comes back in, we'll give her a chance. But we know that she really, really appreciated all of your help and good work in the tax office as well, which preceded your work in the clerk's office. So very excited for your shining example and for your recognition. Is there
And thank you
anything
so
else
much again.
anybody from the town board wanted to add before we move on? Okay. Oh,
Congratulations, Martha. We're all very proud of you, and you deserve that and so much more. You're an amazing employee, and we thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
I copy what Liz said, so I mean, she said it. That's it. We're very proud of you, and congratulations. Well deserved.
Likewise, congratulations.
Thank you.
and Northern says so too, right, Northern?
I don't know. I think he's frozen.
He might, okay, he might be frozen. Is he frozen? I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Councilman Wiltshire, you're frozen. Oh, I saw a little movement. Okay, yeah, okay, he's unfrozen. Good news. Okay, fantastic. So let us now move on to our report from our town clerk.
Well, it was very exciting to join you tonight. I know I only joined you not too long ago, but since it was a night honoring Martha, I couldn't resist to be part of this presentation tonight. She is doing an excellent job on doing the meetings for both the village and the town, especially during the Zoom time. And she is, as you say in your proclamation, becoming very astute to all things meetings on Zoom. The clerk's office continues to move forward with moving as much online as possible for the convenience of our residents and business owners, as well as making our office as productive as possible. We are always interested in comments, concerns, compliments, and in the end, please feel free to call the office at any time. You can reach us directly at 762-8428 or email me at sdonnelly@townofAustin.com. Dog licensing. The town, our favorite subject right now. The town has determined that all dogs should be licensed from June 1 each year through May 31st. This does not mean that should you adopt a dog throughout the year, that you should not go online and register your dog with the town of Austin. It appears that many people do not understand that it is New York State law to have your dog licensed with your municipality. In our case, the town and village clerk's office takes care of the village of Austin as well as the unincorporated area for this purpose, while the village of Briarcliff Manor licenses their dogs through their village clerk. I would like to request that I be allowed to present at the town board a proposal I received to do a census of all dogs in the town of Austin. We have contacted the company who specializes in doing the census, has had a great success rate. It is important that we let everyone know that registering their dog or dogs, as well as making it as easy as possible to license those same dog or dogs and relicense them yearly. Victoria will be adding me to the May 4th work session to discuss in detail with the board our request for doing the dog census. We have also gotten in touch with Briarcliff Manor and they have agreed to participate in this. As we work out the details, they will be joining us in the census. It is very important that we work together on projects like this to benefit all of our residents. Meanwhile, during the end of April, early May, every registered licensed dog owner in the village of Austin and the unincorporated area will be receiving a letter reminding them to relicense their dog in May for a June 1 start date. This will be done online. You will need a current rabies vaccination record, as well as information from the dog's license, such as the dog's license number and other information. It will be on that letter. The renewal cost is $15 for a neutered pet, $23 for a non-neutered pet, and $1 for seniors over 60. We will mail you a new dog park tag to be used in the town dog parks of Cedar Lane and Ryder Park. I am also requesting that we be allowed to put on the renewal form an opt-out of the dog park tag. This will enable us to only mail to those who might use the dog parks. For example, I would never use one because my rescue dog does not do well with other dogs. The 2021-2022 tag will be blue. Folks outside of the town can buy a dog park tag for $25. Boat ramp permits. Using the same program we do for municipal lots and Austin train station, we will be supporting the town of Austin, Austin Recreation, and the Austin Boat and Canoe Club in having those who wish to purchase yearly boat ramp permits as well as daily permits to do so online and pay online via a credit card. Yearly permit holders will be able to park their trailer. Daily permit holders will not. Yearly passes will be purchased online and should be done at least 48 hours before using the boat ramp, so your information can be downloaded into the handhelds that parking enforcement and police department use. This will avoid you getting unnecessary parking tickets. Upon looking at the current fee schedule, it seems sensible for anyone who plans.
We can't hear you, Sue.
Okay, we lost you on Sensible. Sue, we lost you. We can't hear you.
Slowly return back to normal.
Okay, wait, excuse me. We lost you after Sensible.
Oh, sorry about that. Let me
Back
find
to
something.
about the dog permits, and it seems I'm sorry.
Oh, it
not the
seems
dog, not the
sensible.
dog, not the dog, not the dog. No,
The boat ramps, the boat ramps.
Oh, I'm not going back to the dogs.
No, the boat permits, the boat permits.
So,
that
yeah,
we were
the
going to talk
Oprah,
about
it
the,
seems sensible- it seems, tell me if you lose me again, because I don't know what goes on here. It seems sensible for anyone that's going to use a boat ramp more than once to buy a yearly permit, since the yearly permits for the residents of Ossining is $80 and the non-residents is $150, whereas a daily rate of $40 for residents and $50 residents does not give you the ability to park your trailer. Looking forward to wonderful boating season as we slowly return back to normal. Please remember to wear masks in public and stay socially distanced from those around you. Renewal license and permit. Our goal is to have the renewal process developed for all of our permits and licensing, requiring less information to be submitted after the initial licensing. As long as the applicant has not moved or changed essential information, we will be asking for a minimum when renewing licenses and permitting. We are working with Seamless Docs on that project, and of course, Martha is taking the lead on that. As we said in our last update, we believe it's important that our residents have a local outlet to purchase their hunting and fishing licenses. We offer that service during our hours of in-person visits of 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. We would appreciate it that for those wishing to buy fishing licenses come Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday from 10:30 to 2:30, as our part-timer Janet is in the office at that time. It makes life so much easier. We are the only open office for the public on 16 Croton Avenue. We have always been available to issue, and we are also available to issue handicap tags with the proper documentation and to complete marriage license, pickup pre-order documents, licenses, and permits, to name a few. Our goal is to move people through as quickly as possible, which has proven doable with the majority of the forms being online, including the uploading of any documents needed. Beside the day-to-day flow of the traffic for the clerk's office, there's a constant stream of people in for the finance office, water bills, on-street parking, as well as tax collection and receipts from taxes paid by homeowners when income taxes are due. Our town tax receiver and assessor are seeing a flow of traffic, and the screeners are doing a great job at contacting those staffs and help them who is needed. The records room has been set up for other departments to use as needed, and the assessor is taking advantage of the McKinley room to have their meetings with homeowners and commercial property owners. Having the two windows is essential, especially when collecting taxes, as the tax receiver is doing during the month of April. FOILs take up a great deal of time FOILs take up, and we stress that there are time limits on sending the requested information to us or directly to the requester. We must be notified if any information goes to the individual so that the files in the office can be updated. The departments have done a great job in this year with their file retention, and we had the shredder truck here several times for duplicate files and those who had reached their retention date requirements. Another kudos goes to the maintenance department for their outstanding job during these times when they are already extremely busy. As the keeper of the files, we understand our obligation is to maintain files as long as required by the state of New York. Currently, all contract agreements, local law documentation, bond information, notices of claim, vital records, as well as any licensing and permit and communications are kept electronically since the beginning of 2020. We are currently scanning in all of the notices of claim by year and alphabetizing them. This is a major product, and kudos to Martha and Janet for taking this on. Mostly Janet, she's doing a lot of that work. Finally, the clerk's department runs efficiently, and with every step we take to have the residents and business owners' requests online, we are free to complete other functions. We are making improvements in our office so we can become even more efficient and have quicker responses. Watch for more information about that in the coming weeks. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I just wanted to say, I know you mentioned a couple times that your only office that's open at 16 Croton. That's not true at all. All of our offices at 16 Croton are open. You happen to be the one on the first floor that is open to the public, and we do have other offices coming down to join you. So everybody's open for our full hours throughout the day. We're just not open for in-person attendance in our physical offices.
I just meant a physical office.
I know. I just wanted to clarify in case people thought.
What I brought up, and I thought I brought up that other people do come down as needed. So
yeah. So anyway, just none of us are sleeping on the job. Okay. Thank you so much. That's great. Let me just ask if any of my colleagues have any questions for the clerk.
Are the boat ramp passes available now through the clerk's office?
They will be available. We've already had one request for a yearly pass. We do not have the physical boat pass in yet. It was ordered by the Austin Recreation Department. So we do have we have an offer to be the test driver for the yearly pass. So we're going to be using that gentleman for that. So yes, and Martha finished up today, we finished up getting the daily passes done too, which will automatically be, the credit cards will automatically be pre-authorized.
So
the other thing is we will be using Martha,
QR
RQ, or
QR.
QR codes. Thank you. I never. It's a standing joke in our office that I always screw that up. QR codes for that, as well as if you come into the office, and we also sent over to the police station, the ability to just scan a QR code on the wall if you want to do a FOIL, because a lot of people go to the police for information and they have to FOIL it. So we are using that too. But yes, we're working on it very diligently.
So that's great. So if
Councilwoman
we
Friendly.
actually have the QR code available, I don't think it's hard to produce. Even if we just get a printout, a piece of paper before we get the physical sign that we could put in, a plastic cover or something, and we can post down it by the ramp, that would, I think, help us to get as many people, capture as many people as we can if we're ready to roll out the new permitting process. So, even again, in the short term, we could come up with a solution for that. That would be really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Are there any other questions? That's really exciting, and you had so much great new stuff, and we're so appreciative of all the good work that you're doing to keep our offices running smoothly.
Thank you, Sue, for taking on the boat ramp permitting. I'm expecting it'll run much more smoothly through your office than in the past.
You're welcome.
And with that, I would like to give our Honorable Holly Perlowitz an opportunity to say a couple words about Martha too, since we now have her back in Zoom person.
I am so sorry, technology problems, but I'm so grateful to be able to say a couple of words. It is with such enormous heartfelt pride that I see Martha acknowledged the way she is. Martha came to work for us, and frankly, I have seen her develop as such a professional, both grasping things and also figuring out how to manage projects and how to problem solve. And I could not be more proud of the outstanding young professional that Martha has developed into, and that we as a town have an opportunity to get to see her on a daily basis. She remembers the concept of you pick up the phone, you see a taxpayer or someone come in, and your first thought is, how can I help them? And Martha does that every day. And I witness it. I witnessed it in the tax office, and I witness it in my close work with the clerk's office. So I could not be more proud, and congratulations. And I'm so glad that I got to say a couple of words.
Thank you so much, Holly. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much. It was really appreciated. All the great words about Martha. We know she's a star. So thanks, Martha. Okay, so with that, we are going to go to public comment on agenda items only. And again, thank you to our clerk, Suzanne Donnelly, for being with us this evening for your departmental report and recognition. Anybody here public comments on agenda items? And all of our attendees seem to have disappeared. So I think with that, we can move right into our board resolutions.
Okay. Give me 1 second. My computer just frizzled on me. Okay. Approval of minutes, regular meeting, March 23rd, 2021. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby approves the March 23rd, 2021 minutes of the regular meeting as presented.
Motion?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Okay. Approval of minutes, special meeting, March 30th, 2021. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby approves the March 30th, 2021 minutes of the special meeting as presented.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Okay, approval of voucher detail report. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby approves the voucher detail report dated April 13th, 2021 in the amount of $511,959.37.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Questions, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Okay. A resolution authorizing the issuance pursuant to section 90.00 of the local finance law of refunding bonds to the town of Austin, Westchester County, New York, to be designated substantially public improvements refunding serial bonds and providing for other matters in relation thereto and the payment of the bonds to be refunded thereby. Whereas the town of Austin, Westchester County, New York, hereinafter the town, heretofore issued $2,425,000 public improvement serial bonds 2012 pursuant to various bond resolutions as further described in the bond determinations certificate of the supervisor dated September 27th, 2012, hereinafter referred to as a refunded bond certificate. Such public improvement serial bonds 2012 being dated September 27th, 2012, and maturing or matured on February 1st annually as more fully described in the refunded bond certificate, the refunded bonds. And whereas it would be in the public interest to refund all or a portion of the $1,200,000 outstanding principal balance of the refunded bonds maturing in 2020 and thereafter by the issuance of refunding bonds pursuant to section 90.00 of the local finance law. And whereas such refunding will result in present value savings and debt service as required by section 90.10 of the local finance law. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Austin, Westchester County, New York as follows. And the different sections as follows can be found on the agenda online or at the clerk's office.
Okay, wonderful. So do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So a few weeks ago, our wonderful comptroller, Dale Brennan, brought to our attention an opportunity to save a little over $50,000 net of costs by refunding our 2012 bond. Thank you so much to Dale and our bond counsel for noting this opportunity so we can do all we can to save taxpayer dollars. And Comptroller Brennan, do you have anything you would like to add?
Good evening. Thank you, Town Supervisor Levenberg and Town Board. So good to see you. Essentially, the savings will be spread out over the life that's left on the bond. The final payment is in 2022. But with this bond, because a portion of it was for tax certs, sorry, my allergies are kicking in. for tax cert borrow back in 2011 into 2012. The interest we're going to save is going to produce savings in every fund, which is nice. So at least we'll be able to recoup back some savings there, and as well as the other portion of the bond was for the Stormytown Stonegate Sewer District improvements when we went to gravity fed. So that's going to help offset debt service in the Consolidated Sewer District. So it's a good way to take advantage of lower interest rates and get a little more to not have to tax the residents.
Sounds good to us. Is there any other any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Why would you be? Sorry. Thank you. Saving money. We like it. Okay. Thank you so much to Dale. We appreciate it.
Contract New York State DEC Urban and Community Forestry Grant Program. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austining authorizes the supervisor to sign an agreement with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for the purpose of receiving $33,750 in grant funds through the Urban and Community Forestry Grant Program to perform tree maintenance in the town of Austining parks.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So late last year, we learned that we received $33,750 in grant funding from the DEC's Urban Forestry Program to support tree maintenance in our parks. We hope to get an RFP issued for this work soon and get started in the fall. And the first step is to sign the contract with the state to begin receiving grant funds. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Thanks.
Okay. Fee schedule beekeeping permit. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austining hereby adopts the following fee schedule for a beekeeping permit in the town of Austining: $75 for initial application and $0 for renewal.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So as discussed at our last work session, following the adoption of our beekeeping legislation a few months ago, the town board needed to set a fee schedule for the application. We decided on a $75 initial application fee and $0 for renewal. Considering the resources that will need to be dedicated to each initial application versus a renewal of likely the same information from year to year, as well as a review of nearby municipalities, this seems fair. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Okay. 2020 Justice Court Audit. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austining accepts the statement of cash receipts, cash reimbursements, and cash balances of the town justice court of the town of Austining for year ending December 31st, 2020.
Do I have a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
So annually, our auditors, PKF O'Connor Davies, also complete an audit of the justice court accounts as required by the Office of Court Administration. The audit was completed a few weeks ago and needs to be accepted by this board before being filed with OCA. Based upon the short report, we're happy to report that it seems like everything is in tip-top shape. Thank you to our town justices and our court clerks for their hard work. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Okay. Personnel, seasonal labor. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austining appoints Nicholas Ferrero to the seasonal position of labor in the town of Austining Highway Department at an hourly rate of $15 effective April 19th, 2021.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
So tonight we are reappointing Nick Ferreo to the position of seasonal laborer in the highway department. Nick worked with us in the fall for leaf pickup and will be returning now for the spring summer season when things start to pick up again. Welcome back, Nick. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Call for public hearing, a local law known and cited as regulations for boat launch at Lewis H. Engel Jr. Park. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austining hereby calls for a public hearing in the matter of local law number 4 of 2021 to be held at 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, April 27th, 2021. And be it further resolved that pursuant to the governor's executive orders 202.1 and 202.15 and subsequently extended, and this public hearing will be held via video conferencing only, with information to participate in the public hearing to be duly noticed and circulated in accordance with the requirements for noticing public hearings.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So our April 27th meeting is going to be quite busy. This resolution and the next two are to set public hearings for the 3 proposed local laws discussed at our work session last week. One relating to regulations for the boat launch at Lewis Angle Park, which is going to codify some of the things that we heard our clerk talk about a little bit earlier. One for New York stretch energy codes, and one for special events. We will be posting draft versions of these laws prior to the April 27th date, and we look forward to hearing public comments on these proposed local laws on April 27th. Okay, so all those in favor of calling for the public hearing for the local law known and cited as regulations for boat launch at Lewis H. Angle Jr. Park?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay. Thanks.
Call for public hearing, a local law adding provisions for a local energy code under Chapter 63, Building Construction of the Town Code. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austin hereby calls for public hearing in the matter of local law number 5 of 2021 to be held at 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, April 27th, 2021. And be it further resolved that pursuant to the governor's executive orders 202.1 and 202.15 and subsequently extended, this public hearing will be held via video conferencing only, with the information to participate in the public hearing to be duly noticed and circulated in accordance with the requirements for noticing public hearings.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Again, this is for the New York stretch codes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Call for public hearing, a local law adopting a new Chapter 166, Special Events, Parades, and Public Gatherings of the Town of Austin Code. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austin hereby calls for public hearing in the matter of local law number 6 of 2021 to be held at 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, April 27th, 2021. And be it further resolved that pursuant to the governor's executive orders 202.1 and 202.15 and subsequently extended, this public hearing will be held via video conferencing only, with the information to participate in the public hearing to be duly noticed and for noticing public hearings.
Do I have a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you so much. With that, we are going to move to our monthly reports.
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austin hereby accepts the following monthly reports for the month of March 2021. Town Highway Department, Town Clerk, Tax Receiver's Office, GE Helicopter, Town Supervisor, Town Building Department, and Dale Cemetery.
Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? So we will open it up now to visitor recognition on anything whatsoever. And having 0 attendees, is there anybody on the board who has anything to say? Did we miss any announcements? Did I not give you a chance? Because I did have a couple things. Did anybody have an extra announcement that they wanted to add at this moment? Okay. With that, could I have a motion to adjourn to executive session for advice of counsel and contracts?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Thank you for joining us. For those of you celebrating the first night of Ramadan this evening, I wish you and your families a peaceful and reflective month and many blessings ahead. Ramadan Mubarak. Please join us next week for our Town Board work session on Tuesday, April 20th at 7:30 p.m. via Zoom. Have a great night, everybody.